Hi, second graders. We are ready to build our second tower in science. Are you ready?
I am so ready. In fact,
Okay.
I am more than ready. I'm excited.
Whew, good. That is good to hear. So we're going to be on pages 41 through 43 of your science book, so make sure you have that out. And last time you guys built a tower, you built it out of construction paper. Today we're going to be building a tower out of dry spaghetti. So we did not include a box of dry spaghetti for each of you in your science notebook or your science kit. So you need to have your parents give you a box of dry spaghetti. That was a note in your science kits that your parents needed to provide that for you, and we'll make sure to remind your parents before you watch this video that they need to get you this by next Tuesday, which is today when you're watching this. Okay.
And if for some reason they're not able to, that's all right. Watch the video along with us and you'll have to make some predictions about what you think will happen.
Yes. All right, so let's look at what we need to do first. First, we're gonna make some predictions. How do you think working with spaghetti will compare to working with paper? And remember, whenever we use the word spaghetti, we're not talking about cooked wiggly spaghetti. We're talking about this dry spaghetti that looks like this, okay? And do you think it will be easier or more difficult? So Miss Marquardt is putting a sentence starter up here for you guys. I think, so you tell us, what do you think it'll be like working with spaghetti? Do you think that it will be really strong if you use a big pile of spaghetti and rubber bands or tape or however you want to put this stuff together? Do you think it'll be harder because the spaghetti might break? Do you think it'll be easier because you think the spaghetti's stronger? You get to make that prediction of what do you think is going to happen, and do you think it will be easier or more difficult than working with paper to make your tower? So that is all you have to do here first, where Miss Marquardt is giving you these sentence starters. And feel free to push pause on this video if you want to copy these down before you move on to the next step. Okay, so once you're done with the predictions and writing them down, we're going to take a look at what you're going to be doing to following the steps to build your tower. It's the same steps that you did when you built your paper tower last week. First, you're going to think about and discuss what your tower will look like and plan how you will build your tower. And then here you're going to be sketching what you want your tower to look like, right? So you get to decide how much spaghetti you're going to use. Are you going to break that spaghetti in half? Are you going to leave it like all together and maybe put a rubber band or tape around it? Remember that your goal for your spaghetti is the same goal you had for your paper tower. One, it needs to stand up on its own without you holding it. So taping it down to a cardboard base or a paper plate base or some kind of base that you'll be able to step away and your tower will still stay standing. Maybe you use tape to tape down the edges onto your base. You can use rubber bands or tape to tape around your spaghetti. Maybe you end up having more than one leg for your tower and you have a couple of wads, tied together.
That were like put together. Kind of like a teepee almost, it reminds me of.
Yeah, there's lots of different things you can do with this. You need to decide what you think will be the best tower design, right?
So they're going to be sketching a picture.
Yeah, sketching a picture of it right over here. So what do you think yours would look like, Ms. Marquardt?
I don't know. I'm just, a sketch is just kind of like a quick picture.
Uh-huh.
So these are all my little spaghetti pieces.
Okay. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right. And your sketch doesn't have to be the same as Ms. Marquardt's. Maybe you come up with your own idea of what will be the best way to utilize all of your dry spaghetti to put it into a tower. And remember, when we say tower, you might be thinking, oh, it needs to be really tall. No. The goal is not to have a super tall tower. The goal is to have a sturdy, strong tower.
Yeah.
Right? That's going to be able to hold a book on top of it without you touching it, and it's going to be able to withstand some wind. And maybe that wind is you blowing on it as if there was a strong windstorm, or maybe that wind is you putting a fan towards it and blowing the fan air on it. Once you have decided what you want your tower to look like and have sketched it, you're going to come down and you are actually going to build your tower. Okay, so Once you build your tower, spend some time doing that. You might mess up the first few times and get frustrated. It's not standing. I can't get it to stand on this cardboard base. I can't. Maybe you need to use more tape.
Yeah.
Maybe you need to come up with a different way to get it to stay on your cardboard base. Afterwards, you are going to be answering some challenge questions. First one says, what are the advantages of using spaghetti to build a tower? Advantages means something good about it. What is something good about building your tower with spaghetti that you found? Did you find that the spaghetti was really strong? Did you find that it was easy to bind the spaghetti together? I'm not really sure because I didn't build the tower just now, and you're the one who is building the tower, so you're going to be able to tell me what was easy or good about using the spaghetti. And then, so she has a happy face. Advantages means good things, okay? And then you're going to say, what are the disadvantages, the bad things, the sad things about using spaghetti to build your tower? Maybe when you were building spaghetti, you found it to be more difficult than using the paper to build your tower. And if so, what was it about the spaghetti that maybe made it harder? So we're going to be answering both of those questions.
Could you imagine if this was out in like a rainstorm and it was your house or your
If that
tower?
spaghetti got really wet, ooh,
I would call that a disadvantage.
that would be a disadvantage. It might get really, yeah, droopy and fall down, huh? That's true, Miss Marquardt.
Things you got to think about.
Yeah. Once you have done that, you're going to flip to the next page and answer the test solutions. I could test the strength of this tower by, so we're kind of telling you how you could test the strength. We're telling you that we want you to be able to put a book, maybe a hardback book, a kind of heavy book on top of it, and if it can stay standing with that book on top of it, it's probably pretty strong. Now, you might come up with a different way to test the strength of it and want to write it down here instead of what we just told you to do. That's also fine. If you don't want to use our recommendation of putting a book on top and you have a different way to test the strength, you feel free to write that down here. All right, you want to talk us through the rest of it?
Sure. So once you're done and you've already talked about how you're going to test it, the next section is to reflect. So you're going to actually draw a picture of the tower that you created. So this might be a little bit different than the sketch that you drew. So the sketch was what your plan was, and then this is going to be what your tower actually looks like. And then down at the bottom, the last question, why did your team or why did you choose this design for the tower? So again, if you chose to have all of yours in one solid
Bundle?
yeah, I like that, bundle of noodles, why did you do that? Why is that the one that you chose? If you were trying to build maybe walls out of it or stick them together, why did you choose that as your option? And you're just going to write maybe a full sentence down below about why you chose that.
And that's it for today. Next time, on Thursday, you guys are going to be building your last tower out of our third material, so stick around for that.